Hello.
Hello, everyone. So welcome to today's live stream. Today we are celebrating the graduating 2020 class from Arts, Design and Humanities. So today you're joined by myself, Joanna and Laura. So I'm your Union Development Executive from the SU and my pronouns are she, her.
And I'm your academic executive at the SU. So I've been representing you academically for the last year, and it's been an absolute pleasure to do so. My pronouns are also she, her. And today we are joined by two wonderful students from ADH who are here to speak to us about their DMU experience and plans for the future. So if you can all say a lovely hello to Barnaby and Neve.
Oh, hey.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Good. How do you feel? Congratulations.
Yeah. It's been a crazy time. I feel like the last 3 years have just flown by. And then now we're here, and it's crazy, isn't it? It's a weird experience.
It's gone amazingly quickly. So I'm also graduating this year. I'm graduating from business and law. So in the same boat as you guys, where the last 3 years has just gone like whoosh. Like on that first day, enjoy yourself because it doesn't last very long, and you think I've got till 2020, and here we are.
Well, a lot can happen until 2020.
Yeah. What courses are you guys graduating from?
Oh, we're both graduating from drama.
Oh, amazing. I also did drama. So drama represent.
Small world.
Okay, I feel slightly left out, but that's fine. I did drama growing up, so does that count for something?
Yeah, join the club.
So looking back at those sort of last 3 years, we've said that they've flown by super quickly, but what do you think your best moments have been? What's your experience been like? Neve, should we start with you?
Yeah, oh gosh. My best moment, that's a hard one. I think the best moments I had was definitely to do with like the DMU global trips. I've been on quite a few. I think I've been on 3. So wow. I went on one every year. Like, why not? Like, if the uni's paying for a big chunk of it as well, you're getting such a good experience at half the price. So, I mean, snatch your hands off.
Well, more than half the price, to be honest. Like, when we both went to Belgium in our second year, and like it literally cost us like £45 to pay the uni, and then they paid for the rest of it, and that was inclusive of like the the accommodation we were staying in, and like literally inclusive of food and everything. Like we needed to take hardly any money.
Oh
Oh
wow,
wow,
that's
that's absolutely
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where else have you
100%.
got to?
So I went to Thailand in my first year. I did some volunteering teaching English over there. Did that for a
Amazing.
week, and then in my final year, just went to New York in January. Which was really, really good. Really good.
Oh, that is good. I went to New York when I graduated last year on a DMU Globals trip. I loved it, especially for drama students as well. So much
Oh,
for you to go
yeah.
see.
There's
Oh
so
God, I can
much.
imagine. Yeah, you guys would have had an absolute field day
Field
there.
day.
I am surprised
did.
that we managed to get you back home.
Honestly, it was so good. So good. They're pretty.
Barnaby, what would you say your favourite moments at DMU have been?
Yeah, like I echo everything Neva said about the DMU global trips. I definitely recommend going on them because, like, I remember the first trip I went on, I was very much like I was 50-50 on do I really want to go? I was a bit like I felt a bit lazy. I was like, do I really want to have to write like 500 words or however much it is you're supposed to send off the trip? I think I ended up just writing a sentence in the end, and I very much applied. And I kind of thought, well, if I get it, then I can make a decision. And it's kind of crazy looking back on it because like they were such a good trip, and then it made me go on like if I hadn't gone on that trip, I probably wouldn't have been that bothered about applying to the others. And like yeah, it was such a good opportunity. But also I did a placement at the end of my first year. So that was really cool because that was actually at Curve Theatre.
Oh
And it
wow.
was I was the assistant director on Memoirs of an Asian Football Casual, which was
Oh
like
gosh,
so
wow.
cool. It was like a pretty big production at the time about like it was a real story about a sort of local celebrity, Riaz Khan. And it was directed by Nikolai Foster, who's like he's literally like the main director, like the biggest director you can get at Curve. Like he's next to the CEO.
You're proper name dropping, aren't you?
No, I'm saying
let him
like
do it. Come on,
Yeah.
I feel like you have to understand the magnitude. To theatre people, it's like obvious, but if you're not in theatre, then it's like he's verified on Twitter, so like he's pretty big.
I love that rating.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but and the point is like it was such a good opportunity to like work with someone like that, but also be treated like a member of staff. Like I didn't feel like I was just kind of an intern or anything. I was invited to like the press nights, or like there was a few like kind of I think there was a leaving do, and it was like people went to the exchange, the pub afterwards and stuff, and it was nice that I was like as much as I was like involved with all the work side of it, like all the social things I was also invited to, and I never sort of felt like I was just pushed off in the corner. So that for me was like it was quite a big moment I think in my degree, especially because it was just so reassuring to like see someone who's that successful but actually still be so lovely and human, and just not like be bossy or like be bossing people around and making them feel bad. Like to see a lot of values in the way that like I like to direct kind of by someone who is like thriving and doing so well. Like that was it was amazing.
Amazing connection for you to have as well.
Definitely.
So like when you graduate for the world.
I've also just realised that Barnaby, I've actually seen you perform because I think you know my housemate Alex.
Oh yes, Alex.
Yeah. I saw your name and I was like, that name rings a bell. Because she always talks about you.
Oh,
nicely. Oh wow. So another question, guys. What's the last 3 years been like in terms of teaching? Like,
I think the teacher's been it's been amazing. Like I always think people kind of don't really understand. Like they just kind of forget that because obviously DMU is a TEF Gold University, which is a teaching for excellence framework. I think when you go around to different unis, you kind of think it's just like they all have different achievements or anything. But like I feel like me and Neve can both vouch for like kind of when you actually hear, you see why they are gold and why they have got that. We both, one of our favorite lecturers for both of us was Alyssa Clark. And she was like, she's so supportive. She sends us emails all the time. Even now we've finished, she still sends us emails of opportunities and things. And there was a moment in my second year when I got like a 2-1 in my first devising piece, and then she sat me down and she told me how much she believed in me and how she believed I could get a first, and she like kind of we looked back at my first performance and kind of how moving into the second I could push stuff further and do more, which gave me like a few resources and things to look at. And then I ended up then getting a first in the module and then a first in my degree, and that was just such a big moment, like to have someone like, you know, to the fact the lecturers actually care about us and believe in us and want us to do the best. I think like that above like anything, like they can be, even if they're the best academic in the world, but they don't have that caring side to them, like it's like you're not going to develop in the same way.
No, it makes a huge difference to your student experience, I think, having someone that almost feels like your cheerleader throughout the entire time, doesn't
She's
it?
very much that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's lovely that you mentioned Alyssa, because she was my dissertation supervisor as well. And she's yeah, exactly the same. Like she's still sending me stuff now, even though like I've been graduated a year and in a job for a year. She still sends me things like, oh, I thought you might be interested in this. And it's so lovely to sort of like when the academics do sort of go above and beyond and still sort of like go over their duty for sort of like what they're supposed to do to ensure that you can still achieve and you're still sort of like in with the right reading. It's really lovely seeing. I'm really glad that you've had the same experience.
It just shows, doesn't it? It does definitely show that if we're all having like a joint experience, it must mean that they are pretty good.
Yeah. Joe, have you had
the
same experience? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, an absolutely massive train just went past. I think it's like the longest train that's ever gotten past my house whilst I'm doing this stream. That's brilliant. My experience has been the same. I've had some absolutely amazing tutors at my time at university. My top one being Angie Warwood, or Ange, as she's known to all of us students. She's absolutely hilarious. She's one of those teachers where she doesn't feel like a teacher. She treats you more as a friend. I used to go and sit in her office and she'd just take her shoes off, sit cross-legged on her desk and be like, right, let's talk this through. And you'd be like, okay, let's do this. She means business. And I think honestly, she's the only reason I probably got through my first 2 years of university without having an absolutely mega meltdown. So I think teachers make all the difference.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So what opportunities have you got involved with alongside your studies? I mean, I know you've mentioned DMU Global, but have you got involved in anything else whilst you've been at university?
So I'll start with this one. One thing that, let me go back to the beginning. So when I first started uni, I was really struggling. I really didn't understand a lot of the content. I didn't have any clue how to write essays. And I was just so fed up of doing the degree. And I think a lot of people do go through this. And as much as we're all on the other side now, we're like, oh yeah, it was brilliant. Like we absolutely love it. We all have struggled. I think that's the main reason for why I started doing extra curriculum stuff, because I wanted that escape. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just to put everyone like understanding, so people don't feel alone if you are struggling. So this is how come I got involved in a few things I got emails about. So I decided to join I think it's called DMU Square Mile, and I got emails for like opportunities and stuff. And through these emails, I got one opportunity where I went to the prison and I taught the inmates how to sing and songwrite. So I did like a volunteering experience in the prison with the males there. Did a week there, and that was absolutely fantastic. Because I don't think I would have ever like gone into a prison and worked with like offenders and even walk through the center of a prison. Like it was like a very surreal thing for me. It put a lot of things into perspective of like, wow, how one person can go in loads of different ways. And that really interests me. And then because of that experience, I decided to then do some more volunteering with music to do with dementia, people with dementia. And I did my dementia training. So that was like a really good thing that I was happy and proud of doing. And I don't think I would have done any of that if I wasn't so fed up with my studies that I like signed up to this email. Yeah, and I think
No,
if
but
anyone,
you've also built up your hair report really well.
yeah, I have, and I love it. My hair report is good, but
what
I
we
do
like to
really, I really
hear.
enjoy it as well. So like, it just shows that if you, more things you get involved with, the more it pays off. It's like,
Yeah.
in addition, I really wish I joined a society early on, whereas I joined in my last year. And the year of being in a society was like so mesmerizing, is it?
We know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wish I took that opportunity earlier on. Yeah.
What
Really-
society did you join?
So I was in the dance society for the last year. Incredible, really, really good.
They're amazing.
Did you do
Yeah.
the 24-hour dance-a-thon at all?
Oh, I didn't. You know what? I think I had heavy exams. I was like in the
okay, that is fair enough.
library 24/7, and they were like, "Oh yeah, come do some dancing." I'm like, I mean, I've got essays to do. I just can't do it.
At least you had your priorities. So
Yeah. You got to balance it. You got to balance it.
you've definitely got to balance it. Barnaby, what about you?
Yeah, I completely agree with like everything that Neva said. I think going back, I was actually going to go back to Alyssa again because she sends us loads of opportunities. So I had an opportunity to kind of like act as I was acting as a parent or in this kind of police training video. And so we actually had like a policeman come in to like do it and like a filming crew and stuff. And there's like quite a few opportunities as well with like kind of just getting involved with other courses and things like either film students or with new people in their films and stuff. Me and Neva, we did something for Neve's friend, a media student, when they conducted some interviews with us in the library and stuff, kind of asking us a few questions about magazines and what we read and stuff and what we do. And also this, like, you know, being me and Neva both social media and brand ambassadors for the uni. And we get paid to do that, which is really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Always a bonus.
Nice job.
Well, I think
Yeah.
it's important, like at uni as well, like when you know, to have a bit of income coming in as well as everything you're paying out, like it can really help a lot, especially because DMU pays like really well. So that like really, really well. And you also then additionally get like holiday pay on top of that, which is amazing. And I have to say, like, I think even just in the past few months since we've gone into lockdown and we've had to do more and more live streams, I think like for both of us, our skills have massively developed. You know, me and Neve hosted a quiz for DMU's Big Night In.
I watched that. You were both very good.
I had such a good time. Honestly, it was so good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but that was, you know, that was big, like for both of us. Like we hadn't really ever done anything like that, kind of like a live stream with like the live graphics on the screen, like of the questions and things, and we had no idea how it was going to go. We were both very nervous, and we both said like, I think I called Neve afterwards. I said like I was actually shaking. I was more nervous for that than I have been like my uni because I was like that was actually scarier.
But I think it is like completely different, isn't it? Like I suppose perhaps sort of like coming as a drama student, you used to sort of like either being in front of like a proper like film camera with people filming you, or like an actual like live audience where you can sort of gain people's perceptions. But this is that tiny little bit different.
Yeah, you're right. I think because it was so different to what we've done before, but then it's like after having done it and like I felt it was going to go awful and it didn't. Like it seems it was so, and we enjoyed it so much. Like it was so fun to do. And it's just like, yeah, I feel like, but that's with everything, with being an ambassador. I think, you know, I've done loads of telemarketing shifts now. I worked telemarketing all the way through clearing last Friday and Thursday. And so that's something I never thought I would have done. So that telemarketing is as if it's kind of like working in a call center and kind of ringing up people who have applied or people that are going to open days and things. It was really nice this time because we were actually able to ring up people and offer them extensions if they needed them for people who were appealing their A-level results and things. So it's nice to feel like you can actually help people as well.
Yeah,
You're getting like actively involved.
Yeah, like
I bet
and it's
that's really
nice.
nice.
It's
Sorry,
nice,
go
you know,
ahead.
when we do these live streams, like, you know, I think I did a live stream for clearing last week. It's nice kind of having that inside knowledge as well of like how it actually works.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's nice to sort of go full circle with that. I bet sort of like obviously once upon a time you were applying to come to uni, and now
I
you're
remember
entrepreneurially.
someone ringing me up and being like, "Oh, so have you got any questions about the university before you come? Do you want to talk about anything?" And I was thinking at the time, I'm gonna be honest, I was like, "Why are you ringing me?" But then, like, I was that person who then rang the people, and I was like, "Well, this is like deja vu.
It's
This
so
is weird."
because I heard the voicemail and got too freaked out. I didn't call back when I was applying.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think I was the same actually.
It shows that I think it really shows about how when you first start university, you're really shy and you're nervous about what's going on. And the fact is, all of us right now, we've actively got involved in opportunities, we've actively seeked things, which has built our confidence, helped us to gain connections and our social skills. Especially with lockdown, we're now progressing and doing it online, and it's a new form of communication.
Yeah.
And we might have not done that 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Like it just proves that the journey of university is not just about education, it's also about like personal development.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think there's anything like specifically that you've like picked up since going to university, like any specific like skills or anything like that you wouldn't have got if you hadn't have come?
Oh god, that's a hard
Sorry,
one.
that is a very good question.
Laura's getting all job interview, so
Yeah.
it's good prep, guys. It's good prep.
Oh yeah.
like one thing is kind of like just the freedom to like experiment and, you know, find yourself like and stuff. And I think kind of like and find the people that, you know, you kind of gel with and that will help push you and stuff. I think that's like I 100% know like if I hadn't gone to university that wouldn't happen, and like, you know, Neve's my best friend.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have met her if I didn't go to uni. So
Aww.
like, you know, like I feel like we, you know, she has like helped me a lot and pushed me to like, you know, kind of find myself and all of that stuff, and like, you know, just be confident in like, you know, expressing yourself and things. I feel like to do that at university, you know, me and Neve were talking about it before when we were saying like now's the time to do it like in university when everyone is like, obviously, especially at DMU in Leicester, which is so diverse. Everyone is kind of like edgy or kind of, you know, out there and experimenting, and this is the perfect place to do that and to you just do something crazy or whatever.
Definitely.
Like,
yeah, I think it's definitely the place to sort of like find your people and find yourself, and things that like you end up learning about things that you'd never would have thought of before. You end up sort of like almost creating sort of like a new version of yourself, but not like a different version. You've just sort of like grown as a person.
yeah,
I was
and
going
it's
to say
really
the
nice
same.
to,
Yeah, I feel like it's not. I feel like it's not. You don't come to university and then everything changes. You're still who you are, but I guess in different ways, certain parts of your personality may become like more refined. So like you might have gone to university being confident, but now you've gone to university and you've experienced it, but you now know the difference between confidence, arrogance, not enough confidence. You know what I mean? I know it's such a small thing, but like I don't think 3 years ago I would have comfortably been able to sit in front of a computer, because you guys aren't here. Like I'm currently in a dining room on my own. Like, I don't think I would have been confident enough to sit here talking to you guys and knowing that in a week's time, hundreds of people would have sat and watched us do this. Whereas,
and for it to kind of feel a bit normal.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, like it's not anything that, you know, we're not stressing for hours before this stream and stuff. Like it feels quite like it feels a bit routine, which is nice, and yeah, just kind of makes it organic and everything.
Yeah, I think especially because sort of like when you come to university, I'm not sure about you, but when I came, I didn't know anybody at all coming to DMU, and sort of like moving to that brand new city, and meeting those people, like that was a major thing. But whereas now, I think I could do a similar thing of go into an environment where I don't really know anyone and trust that I could make friends and I'd be absolutely fine.
Yeah,
Definitely.
It's interesting that you say that, because I went to Valencia at the end of my second year on a DMU global trip, And I did Spanish. Like I learned Spanish through DMU Global as like a class, kind of an additional class like you can take, which is why I went on the trip. But obviously I didn't know anyone because they're not on my course. And so
Of
I was
course,
literally in
yeah.
that situation of like having to go and like be put in a situation where you're pretty much on a holiday with like a bunch of people that you don't know.
Wow.
And I thought like I thought I'd really struggle. I was really debating going on the trip and stuff. But then it was almost like I think actually putting myself in that situation almost allowed me to thrive and kind of because
Yeah.
we were all in the same boat as well. I remember being there thinking this is crazy. Like back before I went on that trip at uni, I wouldn't have gone into a random society and started talking to everyone or into like a class or something that I didn't of people I didn't know. Like I'm not the kind of person that goes up and approaches people at all. As much as like I think if you can do that, like definitely do that when you come to uni, make friends, be proactive, be that person if you can. But I can't like that's just not me. And so yeah, like
That's really nice.
yeah, it was that kind of nice. And then obviously like going, I feel like every trip that we've been on, it kind of makes you evaluate. It kind of obviously it makes you evaluate your own life and kind of where things are going and how things are, and like your confidence, and you develop so much
Yeah.
like just coming out your comfort zone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
Do you think if is there anything that you wished you'd have done whilst you were at university that you didn't perhaps get round to or you didn't manage to do during your 3 years?
Yeah, so obviously I said it earlier, and I do really, really wish I started with a society at the beginning. I'm just a nervous person, so I joined a society in my first year and dropped out. Joined a society in my second year and dropped out. And I feel like in my third year, that's when I felt myself wanting to drop out. And I was like, no, you're not going to finish university and not do one. So you're going to just man up and go. And I wish I had that mindset at the beginning, because I would have actually maybe finished and actually did music society. Might have actually gone and finished doing like theatre society or whatever it was. So I really do wish I did that. So if anyone who's out there listening, the future, like do it. If it's in the back of your mind, you should probably like explore that.
I
Yeah.
echo that. Like I was the exact same.
So was I.
Yeah.
I think I have joined 4 or 5 different societies whilst I've been at university, and I've stuck with about 2, and the same as uni. But like I would join one and go, okay, maybe not, and then I got to my 3rd year and I was like, if you don't do it now and you don't jump in and do the things you've been wanting to, you will look back and regret that you never tried it. But I also think sometimes you do just need to jump in and find the right one for you.
Yeah.
It took me 3 years to find a cappella, and sort of within a few weeks, all of a sudden I realised it's like, oh my god, I found my people. Like, where have you been all my life? But you know, at least I found them and started to get those experiences. So Neve is right. Anyone that is watching, like, if you have even the slightest little inkling about wanting to join a society or just do something whilst you're at uni, just go for it. You know, you never know what that's going to lead to.
Yeah. How about you, Barnaby? Is there anything that you wish you'd have done?
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm the same as all of you. Like I joined a few societies and dropped out, just because I got shy and stuff, and it's difficult talking to people. And yeah, but like they were never bad. I don't think I ever had like a bad experience with them. I just got nervous from doing them, and now kind of looking back on it, like I am, you know, it's frustrating. I didn't stick at any of them, especially with like I did it was called a new theatre talent course at Curve Theatre. It was like a drama school like course for people who can't go to drama school. And there was a musical module in that, and I was terrified, and, like because I hadn't really ever sung or danced like properly like in a performance or anything, and then I ended up having to do that for that course. I remember then, like, you know, the people who were running it told me like they suggested that I kind of join the DMU dance society or something, and I was because like they were saying, you know, like obviously look, you can do it. It's your confidence and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous because I worry that like I can't pick up choreography and stuff, which isn't like true. Like especially because we do drama and stuff, and we're having to, and you know, it's the same as like if you're doing like a stage combat sequence or something, it's very similar. It's in having to remember moves and things. But yeah, I just didn't really have the confidence to do it. And the way Neve told me all about the dance society, I'm very jealous that I never, it's my second or third year, I just never did it.
I'm sorry.
And here I am now, and like at home, like because I've been working out a lot in lockdown and stuff, so I've been doing a lot of these just dance routines and stuff, and I'm like, I just feel like better at it now, and it's kind of frustrating. It's like but it's everything. Like, I'm looking back at everything, and I'm seeing everything DMU is doing for future students, including the big night in and everything. I miss being a first year and just having that.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, you look back, don't you, and you're like, oh God, like there's just, I think you'll always evaluate the things that you could have missed out on and the things you could have done. But what's amazing with both of you is that, you've done that evaluating to think, oh, I could have done that. But now you could probably take that into your future adult lives.
Yeah.
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 And if an opportunity arises in whatever you guys decide to do, maybe you can listen to your university self and be like, just do it.
Just do it, woman.
Just do it. Go for it. What's the worst that is going to happen? That is a question I always try to ask myself.
Yeah. So sort of on that note, I dare to ask it, but what are your plans for the future? What is next for you?
I feel like we need dramatic, scary
music.
music.
I need like the drum roll.
Yeah, well, you know what? My original plan was to take a year out, work a part-time job whilst I travel. Well, little Miss COVID came in the way, so I can't do that. So I decided to apply for some jobs, and I've got 2 interviews this week, I think.
Good luck.
Ooh, good luck.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about maybe going into real estate, selling houses, because
cool.
I like houses, and in my free time I sit and look at Rightmove and think, oh, this could be my dream house. So it might be an industry that I could go into.
Yeah, why not do something that you're interested in? And I'll keep your contact information for when I look for my first house in a few years.
Yeah, I'll let you find. I'll help you find a house.
Yeah, maybe you can give me a lower deposit.
Well, I'll try. I'll give it a good bash. But I feel like after doing 3 years at uni, doing six-sided drama, I knew that that's not what I wanted to go into, and that's fine, as long as you've done your degree and it shows that the fact you actually stuck with it means something. Because a lot of people don't. A lot of people give up and they quit.
Yeah.
And so all the people out there who have done the degree and maybe don't want to go into that industry, it's fine.
Yeah,
I think
honestly, don't worry about it. My best friend graduated from English. She hates English now. But honestly, I think you two are prime examples of the fact that you can do a degree, you might not go into it, but everything else you have learned from it is still going to set you up for life.
Transferable skills.
Exactly. And I'm going to make a bold statement of saying that both students sat in front of me, I think, are going to do something incredible, just based on how amazing you've managed to be in the last 3 years.
Oh, thanks. I hope so. You never know. If not, I'll marry a rich man.
That's always a good backup.
How about you, Barnaby?
Yeah, so I'm a little bit different. I do kind of want to go into like the creative industries and stuff, but it's not as straightforward, obviously, like it's just kind of, because like our course is drama and stuff, and so there's like so many different things that you can kind of go off and do with that. So I'm thinking at the moment, well, it's changed. Everything has changed because of COVID. So I was applying to drama schools, to be honest, in my 3rd year, and then I decided drama school is not something I like. I don't want to go and study acting at drama school, which I thought I did, but I think it was more just I was kind of allowing. I was kind of saying to myself, well, if I can go and study acting at drama school, and like it will kind of that'll be it, and then I was kind of suppressing a lot of other stuff and working on myself in other ways. And I think in lockdown kind of really given me that chance to like evaluate and kind of like see like with kind of and not just my work, like kind of think about kind of everything and how I kind of want to live like, you know, the rest of my life and
Yeah.
everything. And like, yeah, so I decided that it wasn't, I just want to study acting specifically because I do enjoy directing. I enjoy directing a lot more. I love performing, I love acting, but in terms of the day-to-day process, I prefer being like on the director side of it. But I think that's because I don't like working with like directors that are like strict or rude to people, or I really struggle with that. And so, and I'm never like if I'm leading a rehearsal, it will be fun and it'll be like
Yeah. That's what you want.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna obviously take a year out. I could have applied for MA directing courses in clearing, but I decided because of COVID, I just wanted to take
That's
kind
fair.
of this next year. Hopefully things will get a bit better. And so I can apply across the year, and also because like I want to apply to the good courses like for directing specifically. It's not kind of like all the other courses. So there's a lot of really good courses that I just wouldn't have been able to apply for through clearing. So yeah, I
Yeah.
decided that at the moment, basically, I'm doing lots of different jobs. Obviously, doing stuff that uni's really helped. But also I was in the Loud and Queer Arts Festival. It was an online festival like a couple of weeks ago. I prepared an act for it at home,
Oh, wow.
and that was so fun to be involved in. And kind of crazy like being in, you know, in a festival with like really established like drag queens and stuff, and like to kind of think that I was kind of like in with them was
Oh,
kind of
that's
crazy.
amazing.
That's
But
brilliant.
also,
And
like, it's good to take that time for like life experience and just to see what comes your way and what opportunities come your way as well.
yeah, definitely, because you know, there's a lot that we've done on our degree that can actually be used, and like, yeah, not jumping into the next thing, I think has been really helpful for me. Like, the act that I prepared, like, I actually ended up sending off examples from my dissertation, which ended up being a series of YouTube videos because of COVID. I couldn't do it as a performance. Then I ended up, because I had that, I was able to send that off and apply for it and actually send them the video of my work and kind of what I do. And kind of, yeah, just seeing kind of the different opportunities that, especially kind of having a degree now, because it's very different to taking a gap year after A levels as well.
Yeah.
And so kind of knowing that I can apply to stuff, and I can, you know, I've applied for funding for like a project for like a film, which would be like awesome if I got that. Like, there's lots of things so it's just nice
That's
kind of the,
exciting.
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll remember your name.
Yeah, you never know, just in case. It'd be really nice if
we
you
can do that name dropping.
yeah. Oh. So if you guys were to look back to yourselves sort of in first year, what would be one piece of advice you'd want to give your past selves, knowing what you know now?
Okay, controversial. I wouldn't tell myself anything. I feel like I don't need to. I have gone through so much rubbish and so much like heart and pain in university, but I wouldn't change any of it because I don't think I would be the person who I am now. And without knowing, without like, if I told myself, "Oh, you're gonna have this hard time and you're gonna get through it," I'll be I can't do words. Preempting
Yeah. Preempting.
what's gonna come. So I feel like I wouldn't change anything. I don't feel like I'd change anything in my life. It's made me who I am, and I'm proud to be here as the individual that I am now.
I really rate that. That's a really good
Yeah.
response.
That's amazing. That shows a lot as well about how much the last 3 years have done for you. Like you've obviously been such a proactive student, and obviously you just seem brilliant, Neve, and so do you, Barnaby. Like Barnaby, what about you? You've got to follow that now, or
I was
try and
gonna
top
say,
it.
like, I feel like I
Sorry.
can't really, there's no advice I can give that was ever like, but I guess that, you know, kind of similar to what you're saying, like, essentially what you are saying is to trust yourself, and yeah, I think that's what it is, more just kind of trust yourself and trust the path you're on. And I think it's so easy, especially at uni, like, you know, there's been times I think both me and Neve, you know, you feel like you kind of compare yourself to other people maybe in the class, or maybe, you know, there's like a girl on our course that's amazed. Like she's thriving, she's doing loads of good stuff, she's active in like loads of stuff, and like it's crazy. It's quite easy to compare yourself to that. And so there's a guy, Owen Warner was in the same drama group as me, and now he's a big actor in Hollyoaks, and it's kind of crazy like to think like he was literally in the same place as me, like and there he is like super famous with all these fans and everything. I think it's very easy to compare yourself to that and feel like what you're doing, especially when you see child actors. I worked as an elf at the Great Grottos in High Cross, so like the little where kids can go and visit Santa and
So
stuff.
cute.
It was so fun, and that's something you can definitely do. Like if you come to DMU, you should look out for working as an elf. It's a really fun job. I think it's such a
Let's
Christmas
go work as
job.
an elf.
But yeah, like I remember there was like a child actor that came and was like in a big production, and she was wearing like she had like a little uniform, but it was at the Montfort Hall, and she was in rehearsal. It was kind of like crazy, kind of thinking like, wow. But then at the end of the day, like we're all on such different paths, and kind of all that we're all coming from different places and different starting points that. Like it's irrelevant. Like you don't need to compare yourself to those people, because you are like all you can do is kind of focus on yourself and making sure that you're making the most of your life and what you're doing, and you're happy. Like at the end of the day, like surround yourself with like the right people. I think that's another thing I tell myself is to stop wasting time with certain people and to find the best like to find the people you're going to thrive with. Don't feel you have to please everyone, like you don't have to please absolutely everyone if it means that you're going to be doing stuff which you don't agree with or whatever. Like it's just
that I think that's probably the most important advice that you could ever like give to someone, I think. And like all of that sort of like together, like just trusting that the world, like this sounds a little bit like hippie, but just like trust that the world like has something wonderful in store for you, and no matter sort of like what you do, something great will happen. You just sort of like got to trust that.
And I think Neve said, you both said the right thing. Trusting yourself, and good things will happen. I think if I was to go back in time, the one thing I'd probably say to myself is breathe. Because dear Lord, did I forget to do that on many occasions, especially assignment deadlines. So not as philosophical and deep as you guys.
If you're going to do assessments, don't be one of those people who leave it to the last minute. I never have been, never will be. But those people who do, oh, God bless your soul. How? Like, I worry for those people.
I'd say if you are one of those students, I unfortunately do know quite a few. And sometimes I could be dreadful for doing it myself. You get caught up in other things, especially my first year. I had no balance. So I started to learn when I got into third year that what I would always do is start writing notes on an assignment that that had been given to me, and then that way if I forgot about it for 2 months and then all of a sudden the deadline was looming, I'd be like, oh my God, what have you done? And I'd open up this document and be like, oh, you amazing human being, 2 months ago you made a start. It might not seem like a lot, but it's less scary because at least then you've started something for yourself.
That is
I read some really good advice. It wasn't about essays, but it kind of applies to essays, and I've always kind of carried it since. That it was really, I think it was for authors and kind of how to start writing your book. And it was saying just like when you finish, I think it was like if you finish writing a chapter, right before you close your laptop or whatever, just write the first sentence of the next chapter. I thought that was like such good advice, because it's the same. It can be applied to anything. Like you're just writing some notes down, just getting something on the board, like maybe writing the first sentence or two to your next paragraph. It means that when you go back to it, you've got something to build on. You don't feel like you're drowning.
No, it's like putting the car in first gear when you stopped at the traffic lights. Get yourself ready just to take off. I don't actually know if that's the right analogy, because I've not passed my test, but I tried.
One day.
I also think it's a lot harder to stop doing something and to not finish something once you've started. So starting is a really good way to kind of force yourself, because once you've started, you're like, oh no, I've got to stay here now and finish this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just have to find out what's right for you. Like everyone's different. Everyone has different ways of working, and whichever way you find works with you, then just stick with it. Stick with the groove.
As Barnaby said, don't compare yourself to anyone else. If someone says, oh, I stayed up till midnight last night writing my essay, okay, good for them. That worked for them. You do what you need to. If you get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and that's when you can write, that's when you write. And if you can only write in your onesie in your bed, fair enough.
You do that.
Yeah, you do whatever. Yeah. I used to go into greenhouse until 10 o'clock most nights, and I got to know the security guard in there. That was my life. You know.
Mine was the library. We had packets of biscuits, different types of crisps, a meal deal.
We used to book out these rooms in the library because there's syndicate rooms in the library, and there's ones like in the basement which are a bit smaller, and there's not big glass where everyone can see you. And then we used to sit there because you can take your shoes off, you can relax, you can have a conversation, and not feel like you're.
Honestly, the library was the best thing, and you could change the coloured lights because we had like special rooms where the lights changed. So if you wanted purple lights, you put the purple lights on.
I haven't seen them.
Oh, Laura, we'll have to go. They're brilliant.
When we can be back.
Yeah, I used to spend if greenhouse was closed, that's where I'd be. And I used to use some of my friends' student cards to be able to book extra time in the library. Because you only can book like 4 hours or something a week.
Ridiculous! It's awful.
You rebel.
Oh no!
Honestly, between me and Barnaby, we used to take it in turns. Like, hey, you put the first 4 hours, I'll put the next 4 hours, and then we'll go to the law library. We'll book 4 hours in the law library.
You do what you've got to do, don't you? And I used to sit there and go, well, hey, if I'm getting my work done and no one else has thought of this, I'm not going to complain. You do what you've got to do when you're a student. But now I don't condone that type of behaviour. Well. we must be sensible students. I've had a motto for the last.
We should have more access time. We should have more access time.
Yeah.
I think, like you say, if the rooms are empty, because the amount of people that used to not show up, and you used to have to wait those 10 minutes for the room to become available. And I used to sit there and I was like, the library staff know me. I'm here like all the time. I was like, just let me have the room. Like I missed my room once. They changed the card scanners, and I didn't know they'd done this, so I couldn't get into my room. So I missed it. Went and complained to the library, and the next day they closed this room down just for me. And I got like escorted down there. Oh, guys, complaining sometimes works. Like it was brilliant, just being escorted down by this librarian. That's when you know you spend too much time there. Like
we spent ages there.
Yeah. When the people in the Starbucks used to know your order, that was quite a few of my friends would just walk down there.
I spent so much money in there.
Oh, it's crazy.
I still do. Honestly, I still do. I don't know why, but most of my bank literally goes on coffee.
Yeah.
Didn't you drive out? Didn't you drive out to Starbucks when it opened again? Because you live in a village, don't you? But did you drive out to the motorway just so that you could?
I literally live in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I did it yesterday as well. I was like, I really wanted to Starbucks. I went yesterday as well.
I don't blame you. Yeah. I've got to say, living back home, we're in the middle of nowhere. Uber Eats, Deliveroo, Just Eat, none of them reach us yet. And I used to cry. So as soon as I came back to Leicester, I was like, I'm getting a Domino's, I'm getting a Nando's, I'm getting Starbucks. I was like, no one can stop me other than my bank account. But, I just ignored that for a little while.
You can even, Neve used to order ice cream.
Oh yeah.
Uni, when we were at uni, was it cream she used to?
Doorstep desserts.
That is such a novelty. I did not ever expect when I came to uni to be able to order dessert right to my door.
Yep. And really good times as well. So any students that want to know good dessert places to go, creams and doorstep desserts. but Johnny Custards
Yeah.
is brilliant, and they're open late. They're like a dessert bar that open till like 1-2 o'clock in the morning or something.
But they're pricey.
They are, but it's like really good, and you can get one between two. I've never been able to finish a dessert from them, and I eat a lot of chocolate. Like, so you could probably share one with someone.
Yeah, well, on that note, it is probably coming to the end of our time at our live stream. Just like to say a massive congratulations to everyone from the Faculty of Arts, Design and Humanities. Barnaby and Neve, it's been absolutely lovely speaking to you guys today. Yeah, it's been really nice. Do you have any last thoughts that you want to leave us with?
Yeah, I just think it's amazing that we've all reached this point, and I'm genuinely really I can now of the online celebrations, but I hope eventually when this is all over, we can all get together, especially with all the friends and all the people that we achieved our degree with. It'd be nice to celebrate with them.
I really hope so.
I agree. I really do hope we can maybe postpone it for a year, get into our graduation outfits and get some photos of the campus and stuff, because it's a memory at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I hope it'll be like 10 times a celebration, because we know you definitely all deserve it.
100%. We'll make sure it's a huge bash.
Yeah. But thank you very much. I'm sure we'll be on a live stream again soon, but until then, take care, stay safe.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, bye.
Bye.